Happy Monday, everybody. Bill, I think you're muted if you're
I
trying to
did.
talk.
Now, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. What's up, buddy? Monday,
Hey, happy Monday, folks. It's Monday, but some of you may have off today as we honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King.
Day of service, as they call
Yes.
it. And of course, if you're out there serving your communities today on MLK, please be safe. Um, no gunshots out there. You know why? So no of that bullshit going on there. You know, well, of course, honoring the life, legacy, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., big time civil rights icon, pioneer in the Black community, and um, one of the greats.
As today we honor his legacy.
Yeah. So please be safe out there and enjoy the day. I know for me, it's my normal day off, and thanks to Dr. King, I'm getting a straight hours of pay, which is a good 8 hours of good pay. So, yeah, we can cheers to that.
Here's to that, because money is good. So, a lot to talk about today.
Yes. Obviously, we'll get to the NFL divisional round reaction. And then, of course, tonight is the final of the college football playoff, Indiana versus Miami at Hard Rock Stadium, which is essentially a home game for Miami. However, I am very certain that there's going to be a lot of Indiana fans in attendance. So we'll see how that all works out. We'll start with the NFL. Bill, it's some big time breaking news.
Yes, it is, buddy.
How about the Buffalo Bills? And we kind of talked about the fate of Sean McDermott, before the season. Like what is it going to take for him to really keep his job? Well, as it turned out, something that I feared a long time ago actually happened. McDermott was fired for failing to once again reach the Super Bowl, in which was by far the clearest path, even though the Bills weren't great this year, the clearest path the Buffalo Bills have ever had to get to the Super Bowl. And they still can't make it. No Lamar, no Mahomes, no Burrow. And look, you can say what you want. The Let's just say the Bills were the one that advanced to the AFC Championship game. Do you trust the New England Patriots? Do you trust Buffalo Bills to win? I got money on the Bills if they had won that game against Denver. But that did not happen. We'll get to why in a second. And it cost Sean McDermott his job.
Yeah, Sean McDermott was fired this morning via Adam Schefter reported. You know what? Like, here's the thing. Sean McDermott, I put him in the same category as Mike Tomlin. But I do think McDermott's better than Tomlin. And what I mean by that is because over the past couple years, both of those coaches, all they've had to do is do mediocre, slightly better than mediocre to keep their job, such as Mike Tomlin just have a winning season, McDermott just make it to the playoffs. But Tomlin's situation was different last week. As we stated last week, he was not fired. He voluntarily stepped down. While McDermott, again, Buffalo has looked good for the last 5 or 6 years, but they can't get over that hump.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you just keep going to the playoffs, but you keep hitting the wall, then, bro, I'm sorry, something's got to change.
Yeah. And look, as I mean my Girl Scout cookies.
It's that time of year already.
Yeah,
Oh, come on, please come to my house. I want to stock
man.
up on Thin Mints.
So good, bro.
What's your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
The regular one, shortbread.
I'm a Thin Mints guy.
Okay, I understand that. They're really good.
I like Samoa
Now,
still.
okay. Hmm. Well, they had the peanut butter ones that recently came out too.
Ooh,
So
we're getting if they're selling those, I gotta get some for my mom. She
yeah,
loves peanut
yeah.
butter.
But in any case, Girl Scout cookies always good. Not sponsored, but always good. Um, Back to McDermott real quick. I just think Buffalo could, I say the same thing when it comes to my teams. When we're talking about how, like the Yankees, for example, and why the Yankees should fire Aaron Boone, why they should fire Brian Cashman. It's not because that they can't bring the Yankees to the playoffs. We obviously know that Aaron Boone is competent enough that they can go to the playoffs every year. But they always fail to reach the championship rounds, that World Series that the Yankee fans are still craving for. And we're going on 17 years here. So the same thing could be said about McDermott in obviously comparison to Aaron Boone. They can always do better, they can always be better. And at some point, you have to start asking yourself, it's not that McDermott isn't a great coach. Of course, he's a great coach. He obviously brought that winning mindset. He has that winning attitude and has gotten a lot out of his players and knows how to assemble a coaching staff. And he is a smart guy. McDermott is a very smart guy. But at some point, you reach your ceiling. Like,
Exactly.
and when you reach that ceiling, like if you're not going to get any better than what you are, and we've seen that over the past 8 playoff runs that McDermott has participated in, at some point you have to start looking at yourselves as an organization and just realize it's really not about McDermott. It's about how much more you can get out of your players, like Josh Allen, who is quickly starting to get up there in age. He can't be in his prime forever. So it's a tough move. And again, it's something that I feared would happen with McDermott because he's such a great coach, but yet they still fail to win. It was bound to happen. It's the right move to make. You owe it to the fan base. You owe it to Josh Allen to see another guy, to see if another guy can get him to that Super Bowl and win. Because that's what matters the most, winning.
Oh, absolutely. But here's the thing, and I'm going to say this. Um, the that's what because you know what? They were going to be stuck in this rut forever. They made the AFC Championship game last year. They made it to the AFC divisional round this year. You know that the Bills are not just going to stop at good enough. Like they're going to say, "All right, we want to bring a Super Bowl to Buffalo." But now the Bills got a big problem though.
What's the problem?
Who you gonna get?
Your coach, Dable.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing
What'd you
actually.
think? They got plenty of options. They have Brian Flores.
He's getting interviewed for. He was getting. Last I heard, he was getting interviewed for Baltimore, right?
Yeah, but yeah, you can steal from Baltimore. Um,
I think
Mike
Dable.
Tomlin's out there. Why
You
not?
got well because off the road you got Harbaugh's off the table.
Sure,
Stefanski's off the table.
sure.
And okay, I just wanted to say,
Cliff
we were kind
Kingsbury?
of what?
Cliff Kingsbury? You mean tell me you can't call those people?
Well, you can call those people, but right now, a lot of these head coaching candidates, they probably have narrowed down their final choices.
Come on now. The Buffalo Bills are a very attractive organization, given the quarterback and given what they can build from the quarterback, the offense that they can build. You get an offensive guy in there,
I I
come on
think
now.
I think
This changes the whole landscape.
I think Dable might be the guy.
Here's the thing. Josh Allen loves Brian Dable. And I know he was a failure in New York, New Jersey. And believe me, we know how much of a failure he was in the tri-state. And it's not a knock on him as coach. It just didn't work out. I think it will work better with him in Buffalo. You reunite him with Josh. Josh's biggest success came with him as OC. And look, there's going to be some, they haven't worked with each other in a while. So expect to be some growing pains. But I think that would be absolutely a dream if you're Buffalo. That's your
Because
dream guy.
because I guarantee you, because there were rumors going around that Dable was going to interview for Philly for the OC position, and I guarantee you, the family who owns the Bills, like the minute after they fired McDermott, I'm sure they were calling up Brian Dable and saying like,
Well,
"Hey, Brian, we just fired Sean. Do you
well, I don't know if you
want the
saw the
job?"
I don't know if you all saw the statement, but the Pagulas are not going to be really that much involved in the process. They've named and promoted, excuse me, um, Brandon Beane, who had been the general manager, to president of football. And obviously he's going to retain the GM tag as well. So, and according to Terry Bagula, he's actually going to oversee all of the football operation. So all the coaching hires and everything, it starts with Bean, and obviously the owner signs off on it and whatever. Um, so that's the new reporting structure. The football operations guy is now the guy that you report to rather than the owner, which is a massive change. That's a massive change in the power structure of the organization. So, I mean, let's see if Bean wants Dable. I would be shocked if they don't even give him a call. Like, why not? And then, give a call to everybody. Check in on Tomlin. I know there's report that Tomlin wants to stay away for a year. I don't think that would be the case if Buffalo Bills called.
Like you said, Flores is still on the market. I'm sure if he called, he'd be interested. Kingsbury might be on the market. Well,
What?
I haven't heard who he's interviewing, if he's interviewing for anyone yet.
He went to Baltimore. To interview.
McCarthy, I heard he's might be interviewing with Pittsburgh, but
Mhm.
he's still on the market. So
You know what's a
he's
name
got
I haven't. You know what's a name I haven't heard in a while. And I know he's a defensive guy. Jack Del Rio. Why not?
he's in Europe right now.
Yeah, but why not? You know, like what's the worst that could happen? He says, "No, I want to stay in this European football league and I have it good here. I don't have to worry about coaching in the NFL." You mean tell me that a guy like Jack Del Rio, who has a lot of coaching experience, who's been to the playoffs, who knows, look, he hasn't doesn't have that championship resume, but he definitely has the resume of somewhat of a winner, right? You mean tell
Yep,
me he wouldn't be interested in taking on the Buffalo Bills job? Like, it's just options for Buffalo to look at. Obviously, they're also looking at promoting Joe Brady, which I think it would be a massive mistake. If you can get someone with experience into the room as head coach, that would probably be the best for Josh Allen
I
and
agree.
everything. But look, there's just a lot on the table for Buffalo that they could look at. And look, again, it's probably it sucks because of the fact that you did this after you lost to the Broncos, but it's the right move to make. You can't mess around with another year of McDermott anymore. You know, I would understand it if they had made if they made the championship game and maybe were a play away. I would understand it more if they kept him. But firing him is the right thing. 10 years and you have possibly no Super Bowl appearances is not okay. You can't waste any more time with Josh Allen. Can't.
No, you can't. So I would say go for someone like Brian Dable, who knows Josh Allen like the back of his hand, or go for but yeah, go for someone who can do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's yeah. So this year, new stadium, new coach in Buffalo.
Yeah, crazy.
New
And get it and look, it's gonna be different in Buffalo. Things are definitely changing as they enter this new era of Bills football. But you know what's also interesting, Bill?
But
10 openings in total this
But
offseason.
you know how many there were last year, dude? Six.
You mean tell me at nearly a third, around a third of the league has
Yeah,
openings.
there were only
Wow.
six last year.
That's wild stuff, man. Like,
So
eh,
August
eh,
when
go
I
ahead,
make
Bob.
my preseason list
Hmm.
in August, this tier list, this is going to be a toughie.
Give me a tough one. Let me know if you need help with that. But like,
I'll let you know.
I'm just saying, Bill, and a lot of these teams are winners. These are not teams that are inept, perennial losers type of thing. These are teams that win games. These are teams that make the playoffs. These are teams that know what it takes to build a championship contender. And it's while not shocking, it's very eye-opening how teams are like very impatient. Think about it this way. What was it, the last like 15 or so AFC championship games have either involved the Chiefs or the Patriots? Like, let that sink in, Billy boy. Let that sink in.
Yeah, but the AFC Championship game is going to involve the Patriots this Sunday.
Like, think about that.
We have not seen the Patriots in the AFC Championship game since what, 2019?
Something like that. Yeah.
2018, 2019. So yeah, think about that for a minute. Um, but and that leads to a fun question I'll ask maybe a little later. But anyway, um, yeah, 10 openings, and yeah, John Harbaugh made it. It was official on Saturday. We were a little premature on Friday. We apologize. They were still working things out because the thing they were fighting about, I won't dwell on this too much because we got other shit we got to get to, is who was gonna have more control, Joe Shane or John Harbaugh. And
Yeah.
we have said this before. We won't go too much into it because we've said it 100 times. If John Mara was going to side with Joe Shane over John Harbaugh, then John Mara would literally be the biggest fucking moron in the NFL. Can I get an amen to that?
And that's kind of the move that they decided to make. You know, the move was how can you because it seemed like the Mara family wanted to keep Joe Shane as GM, which is understandable. Like you don't want to make too many changes, especially given John Mara's health right now. But the compromise was Harbaugh and Shane both report to the owner. It's not the best compromise, but I think it keeps him happy enough where it's like, okay, cool. Joe Shane, you do your thing, you scout, whatever. I do my thing, I coach, and I get final say over my roster.
I think Joe Shea needs to let Harbaugh run the show. He
Yeah,
needs to do
and
it.
And that's how it should be. Look, if it's gonna be at the coaches and the GM, if it's the coach and the GM reporting to the same people, then it has to be this is my roster, this is my way of thinking, and you scout, and we'll talk things through. I sign off. That's how it should work. Either way, Harbaugh runs the show. If it's anything less than that, it's going to be a total disaster. And this is why I would have fired Joe Shane because it's no disrespect to him. And look, we've criticized how he's drafted, even though the last couple of drafts have actually been very good. Overall, his drafts have been pretty wonky.
Yes.
So it's no disrespect to him, but this is a situation that's different. You have a coach that's won the Super Bowl. You have a coach that knows how to win, that demands excellence. You're not gonna mess around with you trying to have a power struggle. Not happening.
Oh, absolutely.
And hopefully Joe Shane understands that and allows Harbaugh to be like, okay, cool. What do you want? Who can I get that you would sign off on? That's the way it goes.
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, anyway, we will keep an eye on the coaching searches, especially for Buffalo. Speaking of Buffalo, dude, that game on Saturday.
Mind blown, dude.
Yes.
A lot
That was
happened in that game.
insane.
A lot happened in that game. We talked about Josh Allen. I know he got very emotional after the game, saying he felt like he let the team down. Bills lost, by the way. Um, 33-30. He did not have a great game, Bill. He did not.
Nah, he didn't.
He was really bad. Um, four turnovers. What do you get? Three touchdowns, whatever.
Yeah.
But like that was not even close to a clean game. He was reckless with the football. He missed his open receivers many times. I talked about with Rifkin on Sunday the egregious miss on Dawson Knox that would have gotten them at like the inside like the 10. He wasn't wide open, but he was open enough where he could have gotten like a nice back shoulder catch and everything and just missed it. Like it was a great play call too. Um, that was horrible to watch. Obviously, the fumble before halftime was tough to watch. The James Cook fumble was tough to watch too. That would have gotten Buffalo some points there. Um, Overall, it was just a mess on Saturday for the Bills. Offense.
Yes.
Broncos were okay. Bo Nix didn't play well either.
And he's
Um,
out for the AFC Championship
yeah, how
game.
about this? After the game, Bill, he broke his ankle. How the heck does that happen? It was on that play before they the kneel down. It was he goes to his left, he's going down, and as he's going down, he twists his ankle and he breaks it.
How the hell did that happen?
And then he played it off as if he was okay. Obviously we saw it on TV. He was hobbling a bit, but every player hobbles, right? You're in the playoffs, like you've been playing all season, and no one really thought anything of it. He did his game interview and everything, like everything was fine until obviously reports were out there before, but then Sean Payton confirmed fractured ankle. Just a horrible, horrible situation if you're
Just a
Denver.
horrible situation indeed. Yeah, and we wish him a speedy recovery.
Hmm.
And yeah, that is just insane.
Yeah.
Now, a funny story about this game. Um, okay, as you all know, I had a wedding this weekend. Once again, congratulations to my very good buddy Tommy and his new wife Emily.
Hmm.
Congratulations, guys. Had a blast celebrating with you this weekend. And okay, so my buddy Tommy went to Buffalo, and a bunch of his buddies went to Buffalo. And I was talking to one of his friends later. Her name is Kelsey. Kelsey, shout out to you. You were awesome to talk to. Um, we it was so because they're all Bills fans. Like, you planned it on the weekend of divisional playoff weekend, seriously? And they're like, and my buddy Tommy, who again I love him like a brother, he's like, well, we didn't. Well, we might be fine. Let alone we weren't fine. And they were like, and every and it was funny. My dad saw him before they were getting ready. And he goes, yeah, the Bills are playing, and goes, I might have to sneak into the groom suite at the country club to watch the game because get this. So my friend Tommy, his new mother-in-law, who I only had a very brief interaction with, she seems like a lovely person, so I cannot pass judgment on her. She seems like a lovely person. I'm sure she's a sweetheart. Um, but yeah, I'm sure she's a lovely person. She did. The rumor is that she did not want the game on
Yeah.
during the reception.
Hmm.
Like, literally, I don't know if they had say in this or maybe it just wasn't on because there was a bar there. Again, this is all alleged. I don't know if it's 100%.
I'm sure it was.
There was a bar at the country club with a TV and the TV wasn't on.
Which, of course, come on now. Sports fans, they want to watch the playoffs.
So you know what we
Like,
as savages did?
yep.
We all took out our phones and we're literally at least three different tables I saw. I'm sure there were many more tables.
God.
We put the phones on, and we're watching the game on the phones. I'm like sitting there thinking, we have really stooped this low. We are savages. We're not watching the
Mm.
game on the TV like civilized people. And like, we
Yeah.
are just at this point. Reggie, we had to stoop this low. Hey, Mom. Sorry, my mom's here putting away groceries. But anyway,
Yeah.
we had to stoop this low, Reggie.
Just to watch football. And rightfully so. I mean, that's just how we operate as sports fans. I'll give you another story real quick. One time we were in and first of all, I don't know if my old professor Dana Weidman from Dutchess Community College, shout out to you. I don't know if she watches or listens to this podcast. She's obviously not a sports fan, she's a film addict. But in her, I think it was like screenwriting, whatever, one of those intro classes that we had.
Yeah.
Um, it was the first leg of the NCAA tournament, like literally the
Yeah.
first like game. And um of course, I'm not missing it for anything in the world. So, she kindly allowed us throughout the semester to use laptops, just to look at the writing, look at everything, analyze, take notes, all that stuff. Well, people took advantage of that and turned on March Madness on the computers.
And were you one of them?
Oh, hell yeah, I was. And the one of the games, I forget who was again. I get who the teams were, but um one of the games literally went down to the wire. It was like a massive upset like brewing. And literally we're all watching it like simultaneously at the exact same time. And all these big time plays were happening. We can't obviously scream because it's in the middle of a class, but we're all reacting like, "Oh my God, this is crazy!" So, um, that was a wild day. I think the team that made had a major upset in that game. Again,
Was
I
Dana
forget who it was,
Weidman
but
pissed at you guys?
no, dude, as a matter of fact, she was wondering what the heck is going on there. Like what? Like she was kind of confused as to like why we're like, oh, what? You know? But Ms. Dana, if you ever come across this podcast, just know I'm sorry for being a sports guy.
No, but it's
And thank you for the A. I got an A in that class.
that might be revoked after this.
Funny.
But anyway, but no, like there was another part of this. So I'm at a table with my I'm at a table with my friend's siblings, his three sisters, one of his sister's husband, his sister's husband,
Mhm.
his cousins, their significant others, and a family friend of theirs, and we're watching the game, me and my friend's sister. Well, it's my friend's sister's. She's my friend too. So my friend's husband, he's my okay. They're my friends, and
Mhm.
Reggie knows me. I make friends with everyone. But
Yeah.
anyway, we're watching the game on our phone, and my buddy's mother-in-law is walking around. I said, Ryan, we might want to put the phone down. She's right over there,
Yeah.
and we don't want to hear the. And we, if she sees this, we're not going to hear the end of it. And I want to hear the end of it. But no, everybody had their phones. And you know what? At this point, I would just say, listen, I know it's a very important occasion. It's your daughter's wedding, and you want everyone to celebrate and not be focused on the game. I get it. But sometimes you got to pick your battles.
Like, come on, it's playoff football. You ain't tell me that you're not gonna allow people to watch playoff football.
Yeah.
Why? Because instead of dancing on the floor and cutting the cake, they're focusing on sports. Come on now.
But anyway, they played the song. You know what's so cool? You know what song they played? It's so funny. And this was like when they were going into overtime. They played Shout.
Mm-hmm. Like
You
the
know you
the
make me
the
run.
like the real shout song.
What do you mean the real Shout song? I suppose what, the fake Shout song?
Yeah, I think that the Bills shout song is the fake one.
Well, they were like, hey, and they're let's go, Buffalo! Let's go, Buffalo!
Yeah.
That was so funny. And I had to tell people saying, I'm a Giants fan, but I'm rooting for you guys today. I go, good, we need all the help we could get. And apparently that wasn't enough. But anyway, but no. So yeah, that was yeah, like another story about sports in social events before we get to the other game. My father, you want me to tell this or you want me to get him down here you want me to get him down here to tell the story? Um
I don't know if we should bother Papa Murph. He's
yeah, I think he's busy. But anyway,
yeah.
this was years ago. I think my parents, I know they weren't married yet. They were either still dating or they just got engaged. I want to say they may have been still I don't think they were engaged yet. I think they was just still dating. But they went to a wedding in South Jersey.
Okay.
It was one of my mom's cousins was getting married, and it was a and they're all from Philly, and they got married on a Sunday during a Giants Philly game.
Oh yeah. I was about to say
And
South Jersey. That's like Philly
and
territory. I kind of knew where it was going.
and let me tell you, in those days we didn't have they didn't have these.
Exactly.
So you know what you had to do in the olden days? They had like this sports line.
Oh
You
yeah.
have to step out
Yeah,
and
yeah,
call
yeah. Call them. Yeah.
and get the
I
score.
believe what's his name? Don LaGreca, the ESPN New York host, used to do
Yeah.
something like that. He used to answer the phone calls.
And my dad was like hitting the phone on the thing, and he's like, what, did you go out there every 5 minutes? Because my dad was just telling the story this past weekend. Like, you went out there like what, every 5 minutes? More like every 10 minutes.
Right.
And so, yeah, people, please be mindful of us folks, of us sports
Mm.
fans when you're scheduling your social calendar.
Hmm.
Please be mindful.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, but listen, if my buddy and if Donnie and his wife are listening to this, I don't know if they really listen, but if they do, I was kidding around. Emily, your mother seemed lovely. I only talked to her for a minute or so, but she seemed like a lovely person. Your dad seemed pretty cool. But listen, and I was even telling him, I was even telling him, Tommy, I know about the football thing. If you want, I could distract your mother-in-law while you go get the TV out. He's like, I might need that. I so yeah. I'm not. I didn't get killed this weekend, so that's good.
Exactly.
That is a very good
of
thing, and I'm still here to do this with my very good friend. But
course.
Buffalo out, Denver going to the AFC Championship.
Yep.
Um, the
Jared
NFC,
Stidham. Jared Stidham starting quarterback.
the Saturday NFC game, I didn't really watch much of it because I saw like the last quarter and a half
Yeah.
because we just got back to the hotel. We were just having like a little after party at the hotel bar, and the game was a blowout, so I didn't
Yeah.
even.
Let me just say this. The opening kickoff, that's all you need. Did you see the opening kickoff?
I did not see the opening kickoff.
It was Rashid Shaheed running, I think, like 90 plus yards for a touchdown. And it was so bad that the Niners kicker had a tripping penalty. That's all you need to know. The Niners were not ready. They were ill prepared. They were clearly outclassed. It was a disaster from get-go. It was bad. Um, and of course, Darnold, he didn't have to be great, but he was good enough um to win that game 41-6. I mean,
Yeah, this isn't even a game we should even bother discussing. This is just
you know what pissed me off the most about that Niner game, Niner Seattle,
what?
was the fact that the 49ers didn't go in pissed. Like, you lose the number one seed the way they did. Don't you think you would have that attitude, be like, you know what, I want to kick your ass. And look, the Niners deserve to lose that game too. But, you know, you want to go in being like, you know what, Seattle, you're not better than us. We're better than you, even though that's not true. Seattle's better than them. But like, we're gonna go in, we're gonna kick your ass at home. Like, not even showing up was pretty shocking. So
Um,
yeah, it was rough. It was rough to watch.
but yeah, so that game, we're not even bothered discussing it. It was a blowout.
Yeah.
I remember when we were getting back to the hotel, we're at the bar. I'm like, hey, maybe this game will be good. Okay, it sucks. Okay, give me another beer. I'm already drunk. I might as well be drunk and not watch shitty
Hmm.
football.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but anyway,
Highlight of the game. Kenneth Walker had three rushing touchdowns. He was
all
damn
right.
good. He was damn good in that.
Good for Kenneth Walker. So Seattle's going in the NFC Championship. Now this
Yeah. They.
Sunday, AFC Championship. Houston and New England.
Mhm.
New England is are they back in their glory days?
I was really hoping for Houston, and of course we'll get to the game in a second. Patriots won, by the way. I was really hoping Houston would show up a little bit more in this game and really give Patriots a run for their money. Like it was house money for Houston, right?
It was.
Like go out there and get really, really give them something. And they didn't do that. And now the Patriots may have a cakewalk to the Super Bowl, which pisses me off.
You know what? Here's the question I was gonna ask. Who's more annoying? The Patriots dynasty when we were growing up or the Chiefs semi-dynasty? What's more annoying?
Oh, the Chiefs dynasty is nowhere near what the Patriots were. Like, I'm sorry. The Patriots were absolutely annoying, and they were a bunch of cheaters too. So,
You know what? I agree. I think the Patriots were more annoying. I
yeah,
think the reason why people are getting annoyed with the Chiefs is I think it's more cosmetic reasons, if that makes sense,
yeah.
because Mahomes, who is a good quarterback, one of the best, um, and his wife is super freaking annoying. I literally cannot stand Brittany Mahomes. Okay, she's calmed down a little bit, but she's just so and her and his brother, like seriously,
Ugh.
like I literally cannot stand Jackson Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like he's literally one of those few people I'd like to hit over the head with a brick. Um, but anyway, Patrick, if you're watching, I didn't mean to badmouth your brother. And I think a lot of other people get annoyed because of the whole Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift thing. No, I'm more annoyed with Brittany Mahomes and Jackson Mahomes than I am with Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Like, who
Um,
cares? And like there were rumors going around this weekend that there's trouble in paradise. I don't care.
mm,
I don't think there
mm,
is.
and if there is, guess what?
Not my business.
So what? You actually thought that was you actually think that's gonna last? Come on now.
It might. No, no. He seems absolutely crazy about her.
They all say that.
Because and I was talking about this with JTM Mixed Bag the other day. Since the Chiefs are not in Super Bowl contention, will she accompany? We got a more important question. Will Travis Kelce accompany Taylor Swift to the Grammys? That's the important question. Um,
We'll really know there's trouble in paradise if he ain't showing up.
because the
So
last couple of years, because it was around the time with the Super Bowl, so I can kind of
yeah.
understand. But now, no, this is the big question: is he going to come to the Grammys with her? If he's
Mhm.
there, then everything's fine.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. But in
yeah,
any
but anyway,
case,
we're not a celebrity gossip
yeah,
podcast.
for that you can check out Super Review Show and Mixed Bag and all that stuff.
Yeah, but
Uh,
anyway, yeah, but no, I think the Patriots dynasty is more annoying. And
yeah.
but anyway, the game, CJ Stroud did not have a good game yesterday.
No, he was dreadful to watch. I mean, he had four interceptions, all were easy interceptions. And also, just in general, they turned the football over like a trillion times in this game. They've lost, I think they lost one fumble and then obviously the four interceptions. So about five, I think they had total. They just kept forcing it down the field. And look, we know Stroud is not one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He can play well. Like he's a professional starting quarterback in the NFL. We know that much. We know he can have a good game, but he was clearly flustered all day long. And the Patriots defense were just ready for his next move. Like there was nothing that was um nothing that was unpredictable coming out of that Houston game plan. It was so bad. So just another rough day in paradise if you're Houston. I thought at least the defense will show up. They kind of did, but look, when your offense continues to make the mistakes that they did in the game, eventually the Patriots are going to pounce on you. Like the Patriots, one of the things that Mike Vrabel said was that he wanted his team to play with precise, right, and not perfection and stuff.
Yeah.
And it came out on top. Like the Patriots didn't have a perfect game. They also turned the ball over a few times, but they didn't make the big mistake. And the defense played well. Offense played well enough. They were able to overcome the issues that they had, where Houston did not. And that's the difference.
Yeah, it had, and that is the difference. Today we saw with the Pats and the yeah, but Drake May, I think he did good.
Drake May was fine. Drake May, um, I think it's easy to say that Drake May is definitely going to be a good, great NFL quarterback. And he's
Okay,
again,
May or Stafford, who's going to be MVP?
it's tough. I
Because
still
we
think
know
I think it should be McCaffrey, but
I know there's a giant quarterback bias, but this year since it
yeah,
won't be Lamar or Mahomes,
I still say McCaffrey. If I had to pick a quarterback, Stafford.
I think so too. But I think so too. So yeah. Anyway, New England going back to the AFC Championship game for the first time in what, 6 years?
Something like that. Yeah. First under Mike Vrabel, obviously, and then I'm telling you, the Patriots, they've become dangerous. And now they have barring any shock to the system by the Denver Broncos, which, it can always happen. You never know what you're gonna get. But it does seem like the Patriots have a much easier route now that Bo Nix is hurt and out for the rest of the playoffs. So, um, if you're a Patriots fan, you are celebrating to the high heavens that you are that close to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, so are we gonna see it? Are we gonna see the resurgence of New England? In the words of Asia, of the band Asia, only time will tell.
Hmm.
Yes, me pulling out my 80s playlist right now.
Yeah.
Only time will tell. Anyway, yeah, and if the Patriots, I really hope the Patriots don't win the whole thing. You know why? Shout out to my buddy Ted Peck, because if they win, I'm never gonna hear the end of it from him. I
Yeah.
how you felt with Nate Moser, that's how I feel with him. I'm never gonna hear the end of it from him. And no, another story including him and the man, the myth, the legend, Papa Murph. When the second Giants Patriots Super Bowl happened, we went to his house for the Super Bowl party. Poor Teddy, big Patriots fan, and he's in a house full of Giants fans for this game. And my dad said, Ted, I'll make you a bet, $20. And then when the game was over, because this was the time during the Victor Cruz salsa, my dad's like, Ted, I'll make you a deal. You can keep the $20, but you got to salsa with me. Come on, Teddy, let's salsa. And and then Ted goes, here's your damn $20. Now get out of my house. Um, yeah, but no. If the Patriots win the Super Bowl, I'm never gonna hear the end of it, Reggie.
Yeah, but here's my thing, because the Patriots are not a rival with the Giants. So it's like,
No, but I enjoy those two Super Bowls very much.
yeah, of course you did. Of course you do. But it's like, it should bother people like me. It should bother people like Rifkin. Not to say you can't be bothered by it. If he annoys you with the whole Patriot stuff, fine. But like,
No, Teddy's a good dude. He's just,
yeah. But like, for people like me, for people like Rifkin, for people like Nate, who had to witness all that Patriots dynasty, it's just like, why? Why? Why this again? Like, Jesus.
right? Why again? Yeah, we don't want to go through this again, folks. We really don't.
So I'm begging Denver, at the very least, put up a nice defensive fight. None of this 30-point crap that you gave the Buffalo Bills. You know,
Put up a defensive fight.
something.
All right. So Pats and Denver AFC Championship game. That'll be Sunday. Is that the early game or the later game?
Believe it's the early. It has to be. Usually is. Um,
Oh yeah, because the later game's in Seattle.
yes.
So that'll be the 3 o'clock game.
Mm.
Okay. Game number two. Yeah, last night this was a good one.
It's a thriller.
Chicago and Los Angeles in overtime. Los Angeles. Whoa.
Mhm. That was a wild game.
Well, that was a wild game indeed.
Yes. Um, I loved how um the Bears didn't quite give up. Once again, this was another like lackluster and awful performance out of Caleb Williams. You know, like Bears offense didn't do really much until the second half. I mean, I think they scored a touchdown or whatever early, but like nothing crazy in that first half. It wasn't until late where they got that game time touchdown. By the way, credit to Caleb Williams for that massive heave to Cole Kmet to tie the game. I mean, just outstanding because he was going to get sacked. Like he was in a lot of trouble, and he was able to find a way into the hands of his tight end. Um, so, but again, it's one of those situations with the Bears for the second week in a row didn't show up till late and had to find their way. They found their way to overtime, and it seemed like, look, they got the ball after the Rams failed to score. You know, they get the ball back. They're at midfield. They have a chance to, at the very least, get a field goal. And just a errant throw by Caleb Williams, nowhere near DJ Moore, and it gets intercepted. And you knew right then and there that was the game. The Rams didn't have to do much to get down the field to kick the game-winning field goal. Of course, my buddy Harrison Mevis, who was on the Jets practice squad um, before the season, I know the Jets really wanted him, but he struggled big time in the preseason. Um, he was the one that kicked the game winner to send the Rams to the NFC Championship game. Um, but yeah, like no, nothing crazy from both offenses. Stafford did not throw a touchdown all day, but he did have 258 yards passing.
Yeah, he did.
Um, Williams had two rushing touchdowns for the Rams. He also had 21 carries. He was pretty effective all day. Um, and like I said, Caleb Williams had three total interceptions. I mean
Yeah,
that
three
can't
total.
happen. That cannot happen. And then they also lost the Chicago also lost a fumble. So um it's tough.
But you got to give this to Chicago. Just a general thing. Ben Johnson has really turned this team around.
Yeah, I think the Bears within the next 3 years are definitely gonna go to Super Bowl. I don't know which year it is, but they're gonna make an appearance in the Super Bowl. Like,
Like Ben Johnson has really whipped this team into shape.
yeah, their defense played well throughout the entire season, even in this game. I know that they gave up 20 points, which is like nothing. You know, and let's be honest, if the Bears actually won the game, they would have given up 17. That's a pretty good defensive performance, I would say. So it was a great job by the Bears all season, offensively, defensively. They have nothing to hang their heads about. Like, nothing to feel bad. Um, Ben Johnson finally gets a big time run. Good coaching experience there, and he knows now what they need to do this offseason to get to the next level.
No, agreed. Totally agreed. So this team has really stepped up. Good
Mhm.
for them.
Yeah.
So yeah. So the stage is set for Championship Sunday,
Yep.
the last weekend that the people who actually watch football,
Yep.
because the Super Bowl is just a giant.
Yeah, it's an entertainment show. It's like the Grammys or the Oscars, Yes, you have people who are like really serious about it, but then of course you have those who are like the performances and the dresses and all that stuff. For the Super Bowl, it's the halftime show and you know people like us explaining to non-sports fans how football works. You
Have you
know,
ever had to do that? Have you ever had to do that, Reggie?
oh, way too many times.
Like I remember I had just transferred to my alma mater, and I remember there was a dorm Super Bowl party, and about 90% of the people there wouldn't know. Paraphrasing what Yankee manager Stum Merrill said, they wouldn't know a football if it hit them in the lips. I had to sit there and explain everything.
Yeah,
What does that mean? What's a first down? Oh, what does that mean? What does that mean? What's a flag? I'm like, I hate every single one of you right now.
yeah.
Nah, I don't. But
I
I remember
think
texting my buddy. He goes, "Hey, you doing anything right now for the game?" He goes, "Well, we're not having a party or anything. We're just hanging out watching the game." He goes, "Please let me come. I want to get away from these people. Because what's
yeah,
going on?" I told him, he's like, "Okay, we got cold beer for you." I'm
yeah.
like, "Yeah," but no, I had to sit there and explain everything to people.
Yeah.
And it just,
Yeah.
and then when I got back, they were all like, "Where were you?" I'm like, "I was with a friend." Because Reggie, I didn't want to sit there and translate everything for them.
And you shouldn't have to. Yeah.
And then they're
Um,
like, "I've never," and I've had to listen to the, "I've never watched football a day in my life. I hate you."
ouch. In any case, the last Super Bowl party I went to, it was in Maryland. It was with my aunt and her coworker and her daughters and her daughter's friends and everything. Um, it was a breath of fresh air to sit down and watch with a bunch of women that knew everything and everything about football. It was a breath of fresh air. Now,
Reggie, were you?
oh, even my aunt's a football fan. You know, it was so nice to sit down and watch it with a bunch of ladies that know football.
So were
Like
you the only guy that was there?
I, I forget. I think I was. I think I was the only
So
guy.
were you thinking, are any of you single or have any daughters or nieces who also like
I
football
mean,
who are
there are a bunch
single?
there are a bunch of doctors, so no. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Or
Yeah,
do any of you have any daughters or are you sitting there thinking, do any of you have any daughters or nieces who like football who happen to be single?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I
Um,
wasn't gonna do that. I was gonna respect it.
Reggie with the women.
Yeah, but it was nice to talk to the
No,
lady.
no, that is
I'm not gonna lie to
great.
you.
That's fantastic
It
because
was it
you
was
don't
nice to
have
talk to the
people.
ladies. Like,
You don't have
yeah,
people asking you questions every 5 minutes.
yeah.
It's wonderful.
And of course we ended up enjoying Usher and Alicia Keys and all that stuff. So it was great.
Yeah,
Um,
but no, I remember at that Super Bowl, I
yeah,
remember I had a bunch of my neighbors over, and one of my neighbors is going on about a symbol and the Illuminati and everything. I'm like, shut up.
yeah,
I just want to watch the damn halftime show. Leave me alone.
yeah.
And but
It was also bittersweet because the Chiefs won, but we didn't watch.
don't remind
But
us.
it was such a great game. I can't be mad. I can't be mad at the Chiefs. Like, you can be mad that they won, but you can't be mad at the game. It was a great game.
But
Um,
anyway, yeah, so that's the NFL playoff weekend. And also football tonight, the college football playoff, Miami and Indiana.
yeah,
Who do you got? Who do you got, Reggie boy?
I'm picking Indiana.
I am too, and I want to apologize to my good friends Kevin Zuki Gonzalez, who's a huge Miami fan, and my good friend John Haraska. Good luck, but I think Indiana's gonna beat Miami.
Look, my sorry, not Miami. Indiana got a lot of money this past football season to really build this program, and they're top dogs for a reason. So I have full confidence in them to get the job done. Um, can you imagine, all this time, we're like, Miami should not be in. They lost. They're terrible. Notre Dame's way better. Can you imagine if they win the national championship?
Listen, I would not be mad at Miami. It's not
I'm
their
not,
fault.
yeah,
It's
and that's the thing.
Alabama.
Like, I'm not mad at them, but it's just like, can you imagine, like, that happening? How humble, like, we would get so quick,
No, I would tip my hat to Miami because
like,
it's not Miami's fault. It's Alabama and the okay, you've heard me rant about okay, I don't think you guys want to hear another SEC hate right now. So,
exactly. We
but
get the point.
yeah, but I'll just say my favorite line from that rant. They think they can come in and swing their dick around.
Amen.
But yeah, you all know my thoughts. If you don't, go back and listen.
Yeah.
But but no, listen, I think it's gonna be a good game tonight. I think Indiana is probably gonna win. But hey, if Miami wins, you know what? I will humbly call my good friend Zuki and congratulate him.
Yeah.
Or text. I might text him instead because it's gonna be late at night. So I'll text him and humbly congratulate him
Exactly.
because I am a gentleman, and that's what we do. We swallow our pride and do it. And you know what? And you know what? Yes, you got to do things you don't like. It's called being an adult, and that's why they let us buy alcohol.
Amen.
But
Yeah.
anyway, but anyway, yeah, it's gonna be a good game tonight. Hey, Reg, I thought I'd just end this show on a fun note here.
Sure.
I want you to guess something, okay?
Okay.
I told you I was at the wedding this weekend. I requested a song from the DJ. I'm gonna give you three guesses of what song I requested. We're gonna have a little fun right now.
Is it a white people song?
Yes.
Okay. I have a few in mind. Um, Fall Out Boy. Sugar we're going down, so no,
They
no,
did
no.
play that, but I did not
They
request that.
played okay. Okay, they did play it. Did you request Mr. Brightside ever?
They did play that, but I did not request
You
it.
didn't recall. Okay. That's two.
Would you like to give me to give you a hint?
Sure.
Okay, decade, 80s.
Oh, it's one of those. Okay. But it's a white people song.
It is a white people song. Okay, just so we can clear something up with the audience here. When we say white people song, we don't mean it's a song that people of other races can't enjoy it. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Reggie, you explain it. You
Um,
explain it.
the best way I could say it is that it's not hip hop, it's not rap, it's not anything that the urban black community would listen to.
Yeah,
But
but
I
we're
would
not
listen to
saying
it.
that.
But I
We're
would
not,
listen to it because I grew up around white people. But
yeah, but we're not saying like people who are black or Hispanic or whatever can't
yeah,
enjoy it because they
no,
can.
no,
But
I'm a pop enthusiast. So
okay, so your
thank you,
last
Michael
guess,
Jackson, for that.
80s,
Thank you, Michael
80s,
Jackson.
80s white guy song.
80s
So
white guy
you're on your
song.
last guess.
There's a few of them. Okay. I'm gonna take a wild guess. I know it's gonna be wrong. Take on Me by Aha.
Nope. You know what? Because I like you so much, I'll give you one more guess.
Okay, Journey, Don't Stop Believing. Okay.
Yup. Yup. And I love that song to death. Because when they played it, my mom said, "You requested that, did you?" She goes, "Of course I did.
Mhm.
I freaking love that song. And whoever does it, I seriously question your taste in music.
Yeah. Now, when you said 80s, I was like, okay, so it's either gonna be one of those Take on Me's or the Don't Stop Believing and all those, or maybe Springsteen, maybe, or whatever.
Because you want to know something? Like, here's like the funniest thing. Like, I've seen reactions on YouTube go, "My first time listening to Journey, Don't Stop Believing." Like, seriously, you've never heard this freaking song in your life? Like, that song is everywhere. Like, I guarantee you've heard that song at least a few times.
I mean, it's but
The people who told you they
by the
never
time
heard
I
it,
started listening to it, it was like 20 years old, maybe. So it was like it was still relatively new when we were growing, barely recent.
well, now that song is like over 40 years old.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Like, yeah.
but no,
Yeah.
but people, that shows you how you write a good song.
Well, it ages well. It ages beautifully, that song. Most of their
Because
songs do, if you really think about it.
yeah, but
But
you know what? I will say this. I love Don't Stop Believing, probably my favorite song. But here's where I think Journey kind of gets screwed. Like, people don't, oh, Journey's my favorite band. Well, what's your favorite song? Don't Stop Believing. Okay, well, any other song? No, that's the only song I know by them. Like, they have other good songs too. Like,
yeah, I would never say Journey's my favorite band, but
one of my favorite bands, Reggie. They're one of my favorite
well,
bands.
that's
I did see them
that's
in
because
concert.
you're a diehard listener. Like you have all the
I did,
albums, all
I
that
did,
stuff.
and I saw them in concert too. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, but the thing is, okay, do you know any other Journey songs, Reggie?
I mean, not really. Again, I don't. Again, I'm not Journey listener like that. So it's like, I'm not gonna pretend to be. Um,
Because no, because if I ask people, what's your favorite Journey song aside from Don't Stop Believing, Any Way You Want It, um, Open Arms, or Faithfully, they will fold like a lawn chair.
mhm.
Yeah. But you know what? When you said the white people music joke, what is the biggest white people song you think? Reggie, I'm gonna let you go first.
The what do I think is the biggest?
What do you think when you hear a song on the air? We just talked about "Don't Stop Believing." When you hear a song, thinking, "Yeah, that's a white people song."
Hey Jude,
You want
Beatles.
to know something? You know I'm a huge Beatles fan, Reg.
Yeah.
I've seen Paul McCartney, I've seen Ringo, but I don't know that song is actually not one of my favorite Beatles songs, to be honest.
No, it's definitely not. It's not my favorite, but
I wouldn't even put it in the top 10, to be honest.
yeah,
Like I would say it's
I
probably at the
think
bottom.
yeah.
If I put it in my top 10, I would put it maybe at the bottom. And I don't think it's a bad song. It's just not one of my favorites.
No, no, it's not mine.
Yeah,
But
but yeah, okay, listen, again, we didn't need anything
yeah,
harsh white people
yeah. No,
music.
we're not trying to separate, the race,
You know
which
who
is
I think is the biggest white people band? Maroon 5.
absolutely
Maroon 5, like seriously.
them. Green Day, Green Day representing all the emos out there.
I
Um,
like Green Day too, but
love.
Maroon 5, the songs about Jane, I think is their only good album.
That's not fair. Like they've had great albums over the years.
Okay, 2000s Maroon 5 is good.
Yeah, I will agree with you with that. I agree with
Post
you.
2000s Maroon 5 sucks. Okay,
It
no,
doesn't. They
actually,
don't suck. Like
okay, you know what?
it's
I'll
just
take it
not
back. I
good.
do like the song Maps. I do like
It's
Maps.
not as emotional as their early stuff. Their early stuff really hits. Like it hits you.
Yeah, so no, I like their early stuff better. Like the
Yeah,
recent stuff, I'm not a fan of.
yeah. I think
But
once it got to like 2015, like their songs
like I
were
said,
good, but they weren't great. Like
I like the song Maps.
yeah,
Animals is
I like Payphone in that era.
okay,
I like
Payphones is okay.
Pay.
Payphone's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Um, but I think Maroon 5 just buried themselves when they did the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah, that was not a good halftime show.
Adam Lambert even looked like he didn't want to be there.
And Levine, and yes,
Adam Levine, thank you. Dang.
yeah.
Adam Levine didn't even look like he wanted to be there. He looked
No,
like
it
he
wasn't.
took
It
a nap
wasn't.
and he was still waiting for the sleeping pills to wear off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, sorry you had to hear some music talk, folks. You're probably thinking, we're here to listen to you guys talk about sports, not
Well, what
what
was supposed
music
to
you
talk
guys.
about? The Yankees? Well, what are they doing? This is why
They
I'm
did
repping the
nothing.
Nats
They
today.
suck.
See, at least the Nationals, they have a plan going into this season. What's the Yankee plan? You know,
I
you
don't
tell me.
know. I
You
don't
know,
know. None of us know
they
because
they
Brian
don't want to
Cashman
up
is an
they
idiot.
don't want to up their offer to Cody Bellinger, which like I agree 7 years is outrageous, but it's just like you can't even negotiate something else. Like, come on,
So yeah. So yeah. And plus, get used to this, folks, because when we're in that weird time between Super Bowl Sunday and Selection Sunday, you might hear a lot of this.
man. Yeah.
So you might want to get used to it.
Mhm.
And then in that time between the NBA Finals and football season, you're gonna hear a lot of this. So you might wanna. We're warming you guys up for this. So
Mhm.
because there's gonna be times where things are gonna be slow. Like granted, in that time between Super Bowl Sunday and Selection Sunday, it's not too long. We'll have baseball to talk about.
Yeah.
Like
We'll
we'll have
also have
spring
the
training,
Olympics. Keep in
and we'll
mind
have the Olympics. So
the
we'll have stuff
Olympics.
to talk about. But once
Yeah,
in a while, we might just BS and talk about movies or music or something.
exactly.
We'll try to stay apolitical, right? Right. We'll try to stay apolitical.
We'll try.
We'll try
Um,
not to get into politics, but it's really hard. We won't. We won't
yeah, exactly. Oh God.
because. Okay, so yeah, sorry, Reg. The last few minutes were just all over the place.
But that's okay because if our real fans really stuck around, they would stick around and they would enjoy it. And we hope you always enjoy our content.
Or some of them. So what are you guys going to talk about? What you had for lunch next? Well, I
Sure.
haven't had lunch yet, so
I haven't had lunch, but I did have breakfast. I had a bacon,
I
egg,
had breakfast
cheese.
too.
I
I had a English muffin with peanut butter.
boom, boom, there you go.
See, there we talked
Um,
about what we had for breakfast. So
exactly.
anyway,
And you can find more of this talk if you subscribe to our channel, which I'm surprised you haven't done so already. Like it's right there. Just hit the subscribe button. Click. It's done. Takes
like,
like a second.
comment, subscribe, and hit that bell. Go to www.thesportsinsanitynetwork.com. Check out our blogs
Yeah.
and check out our podcast available on all platforms.
Um, and make sure you go to our X page at Insanity Real, X and Facebook. We're starting to post more, so really start following stuff. Um, at Dan_Ryans. I'm on X. Hello.
I'll
Um,
my exes. I haven't been on X for a while because
so yeah, I don't remember yours, but but I gave you a shout out after
Oh,
Harvard. I
thanks,
gave you
Reggie
a shout
boy. No, I did see that on Facebook. I did see that. Thanks, Reggie boy.
out.
Okay, so that is
Right.
our show for the day. We will see you Friday. We'll preview the conference championship games. So from me and Danny Boy Reginald, stay safe and take care.
Check out the Tuesday show with Rifkin and Halpern, Wishbone Shotgun, Six Man Up. We'll talk about the Knicks' struggles. Stay tuned for more here on SIN. We appreciate you, we love you, and we always thank you.
Bye bye now.